My name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit, and today's the update for deck of panning, and I'm so excited because I have some pretty good progress to share with you guys today. But before I get into everything, of course, as always, down below in that description box is the links, is the playlist, is the information. It was created by Emily Max, inspired by Books with Maddie. You know the drill. Go check it out if you're curious. I'm ready to dive into this. I hope you guys are too. So last month in the intro, I pulled in my 5 cards, which was the 6 of hearts, the 9 of hearts, the 4 of diamonds, the king of clubs, and the jack of spades. So I'm going to go through them one by one with you guys, show you where we're sitting at. So let's get into it. So the first card that I pulled was the 6 of hearts, and the prompt that went with that is oldest, which could be anything that is oldest in your collection. I went with my Stila, the Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. As I said in the intro, I'm not sure if it's the oldest highlighter in my collection, but it is one of the oldest products that I have in my collection that is out on the market. I don't even know if this is still out on the market. But it's one of my oldest. It probably is my oldest highlighter, to be honest. Now, my goal for this was to reach for it 10 times, and I have lost track of how many times I have reached for this, but I can tell you it has been well over the 10 times. I have used this almost every single day, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this highlighter. It is a cream to powder product. I really do enjoy it. I tend to forget about it, and I think I had mentioned it in my inventory collection videos. Once I started reaching for this again, I just continued to want to reach for this, and eventually I would like to completely pan this. That is well off into the future because that would take a very long time. But the center of this pan now has a nice flat area to it, and I'm so excited about it. I just love the shine that this gives off, and I think that this is something that I'm going to want to continue to use. I don't know if I'm going to focus on it anytime soon, but pull it in here and there throughout at least this year, and try and get a little bit more use on it because I really have enjoyed this. But because I have reached my goal, I get to roll this product out, which is so exciting. So next I had rolled in 9 of hearts, which was a warm tone, and I decided to roll in my LA bronzer, and the goal was to hit pan. Now, if you watched the intro, you would have known that I'm not going to be reaching for this yet, but at this point it's going to be pretty soon, like probably next week. I wanted to finish off the bronzer that I'm currently working on, which is the Dallas Blush by Benefit, and I'm so close to being done that it's going to be like maybe a few more days, and then I will start to reach for this one right here. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, and it would probably be a little bit more into springtime by the time I got around to this, but by the sounds of it, by the looks of my other bronzer, I will be getting to this one pretty soon. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to turn up on my skin. I don't know if it's going to be too light, but we are still in winter, so it might actually not be so bad. It's got a little bit of a radiance to it, but if I do tend to feel like I can't see it on my skin at all, then I will have to pull in another bronzer to pair with it, just to give it a little bit something and just to like show that I'm a little bit bronzy. But I'm excited to hit some pan on this, get some use on this, and eventually finish this off this year because this is one that I do want out of my collection, but I want to use it. I don't just want to declutter it. So have not touched this one yet, but we will be getting some use on this one soon. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like at the next update. Next was the 4 of diamonds, which was a wild card. So you could pull any prompt off of the spreadsheet that Emily had created. So I decided to roll in the 8 of clubs, which was pop culture. So my pop culture reference was pulling in some sort of video game, gamer type of thing, and I went with the Let's Play palette by Too Faced. My goal was to reach for this 5 times. I had not used this before I brought it into this project, and I have now used it my 5 times. Wearing this in February was perfect. It was a great timing to have this rolled into this project. I got some really pretty looks with it. A couple of times I reached for just 1 or 2 shades, but there have been a few times where I did like a full look with this palette and then maybe topped off just something a little bit extra with another shade from a different palette. But I really did enjoy using this. You can see I've dipped into this shade quite a few times. I reached for this pink matte a couple times and paired this with the pink that got rolled into my panless eyeshadows. The 2 of those together were pretty. I reached for this one a little bit more often than I thought I would, and I blended it with these 2, and I thought that was super pretty. I would like to get a little bit more use on like maybe these shades and do a look, but that is something for later on, and I really did enjoy this palette. So this is something that I am excited to continue to use as well later on, sometime in the future, maybe pull it into another palette or another project. But I really did enjoy this, and I'm happy that I was able to get this into this project to see how I feel about it. Next was the King of Clubs, and that was to have a pan already in it. Now, I chose a shade that I have not quite worked on yet, but this is from my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, and I chose the shade Satin Sheets, which is this one right up here. My goal is to finish it. I think I reached for it a couple of times after I rolled it into this project, but I have not reached for it since. I actually completely forgot about it. So what I want to do is probably repress this, and then I'm going to continue to use it and wear it as a highlighter, finish it off, and then that is just one less shade in this palette that I have left. I really do enjoy this, and I mainly use it as a highlighter, so that's why I'm going to continue to do it that way. And I like to pair it with this pink shade too sometimes, just to give it a little extra pop of something. So I'm gonna repress this pretty soon because it is getting difficult to dip my brush into there, and that's probably part of the reason why I haven't used it as well, on top of forgetting about it, because the brush that I use is just, it fits in there perfectly, but just the little bits that's around the edges, I think repressing this is probably going to be the best option to make sure that I actually get some use on it, and then finish it off with another eyeshadow, which I'm super excited about as well. And then last but not least was the Jack of Spades, and that was a powdered product. So I pulled in 2 blushes from Stila. They were from an original face/eye palette. These 2 blushes had absolutely no use on them before I put them into this project, and that palette that they came from was pretty old. So these are the 2. My goal was to reach for them 10 times. Could be a combination of 5 each, could just be 10 altogether, could be 1, could be 9, could be whatever combination that equaled 10. For the most part, I've been wearing the 2 of them together. I just kind of swirl my brush into each of them, and I have officially hit 6 uses, so I only have 4 left to go, which is really exciting. I still have a week or so left of February, so I'll probably wear the remainder of those 4 looks left. I'm wearing this today. I've topped it off on top of another blush that I'm working on, so even doing it so it's not super bright pink is working well for me as well. So I'm super excited about it. I've got 4 uses left on this one, and then this can get rolled out next month. So with that being said, I have 3 that are staying in, and I have 2 that are rolling out. So that means I'm going to shuffle my cards. The ones that I had pulled from last month, I just threw back into here. So I'm going to shuffle for a little bit, and I'm going to pull out 2 more cards. I do have the game board pulled up on another tab on my laptop, so I'm not currently looking at it, but I'm super curious. I'm going to pull the cards first, and then I'm going to take a peek and see what the prompts are that go along with it, and find whatever products I'm going to be working on for the next few weeks. So we're just going to shuffle a little bit more. I'm not the best at it, but that's okay. Okay, let's go one more go. Okay, we're gonna pull the 8 of Hearts. Whoops. And we're also gonna pull another Jack of Spades. So the face cards stay the same throughout the year, but the numbered cards actually change every month. So let's go to the board and see. So Jack of Spades is again powdered product, because like I said, that stays the same throughout the year. So I'm going to find another powdered product, which is easy because that is all that my collection is, so it could literally be anything. And then we have the 8 of Hearts, and that is an eyeshadow. Well, doesn't that work out just perfectly? Okay, I'm going to go find a powdered product, and I'm going to go find an eyeshadow that I want to work on, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm kind of excited about this for a couple different reasons. So I pulled the 8 of Hearts, which was the prompt eyeshadow, and I pulled the Jack of Spades again, which is a powdered product. So for these 2 prompts, I decided to go with technically one product, which is a brand new eyeshadow to my collection. This is the Delicious Delights palette by Cosmic Beauty. And this is what the inside looks like. I received this last month. I have not used it yet, haven't swatched it. So my goal is for the powdered product, for the Jack of Spades, I want to use this palette, no pan left behind. So I'm going to use every shade in here one time. Now, for the eyeshadow, I want to hit pan in one shade. So I'm essentially doing level 1 of Project Level Up as a combination goal for both of these products. Now, I don't quite know which shade I want to hit pan in just yet, but I'm thinking we're going into March. We're getting into springtime finally. Easter's at the end of March, and it's probably going to take me a little bit to hit pan in every shade, so I kind of want to keep it light and fun. So I'm thinking something that might make it also a little bit challenging for me is to reach for the shade Sweetie down here. Now I'm going to swatch this. It's the first time it's being swatched, so we're going to swatch this shade, and that's a very pretty light baby pale blue. Right there. So I think my goal is going to be to hit pan in the shade Sweetie. So for my eyeshadow, it's going to be Sweetie, but for the prompt powder product, it's going to be the whole eyeshadow palette. So like I said, this is going to be a combination of level 1 from Project Level Up as a goal for both of these prompts, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I can kind of play around with this palette a little bit, get a feel for it, see how much I enjoy it, and possibly want to purchase more from them later on in the future. This is actually like one of, if not the only brand that is like cheaper to get shipped to my door opposed to getting shipped to like the US border and then going to pick it up. So if all is well with this, I would have found a new lovely favorite brand to purchase from. So I'm super excited to see how I'm going to feel about this. So that is what we're going to be working on. I'm really excited about it, and I'm actually kind of testing my limits with pulling in this Sweetie shade, even though it is a very light blue. I don't wear blue shadows very often, if ever, so I have one in Panda's eyeshadows that I'm kind of struggling with. So I think that maybe I'd be able to pair this with that, get something a little bit different going, and hopefully I can kind of expand my horizons when it comes to certain shades and certain colors this year, because I would like to just kind of step out of that comfort zone just slightly more. I did it in 2022. I had so much fun like expanding my horizons when it came to color that I want to do that again this year and dip into other shades that I wasn't quite comfortable doing back then. So this is a good start to that. I'm really excited. I hope that you guys are too, so please stay tuned and keep up with my updates. Playlist is down below, so is everything for everybody else. So that is it for this update. I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you all later. Bye.